Whether you recently got laid off or have a job right now but are super nervous you may lose it, a majority of people are stressing out about their current financial situation. I recently caught up with the Queen of Free to talk about the importance of how to go about facing those financial fears now.
I mean, this is impacting each and every one of us, of course, in different ways, but what's something every single one of us should be focusing on when it comes to our finances?
So right now, no matter where you're at in the middle of this crisis, you need to focus in on what your essentials are. And so if you've had some financial goals that you're reaching toward, or you've had, some things you were trying to achieve, it's time to press pause. We need to focus in on things that are essential, like rent and mortgage, especially those, you need a place to live. And then after that, utilities. So things like your lights, your water, your heat. I know a lot of companies are working very strongly with consumers to make sure that all those services stay intact right now. Examine your budget, really, really drill down on what's a necessity and what's a luxury right now.
Let's get to specific circumstances now. What about someone who just lost a job?
Yeah, my heart goes out to so many people who are struggling right now with employment. Number one, if you are married, you need to tell your spouse immediately. Do not delay. You need to confide in a friend if you're not married, but especially if you're sharing finances with someone, they need to know about that sooner rather than later. And you cannot hesitate in applying for the benefits that you need immediately. I would guess that there's going to be a backlog. You cannot put it off until tomorrow. You must begin today. You also need to start looking for another job opportunity. It probably is going to fall outside of your regular field. Be flexible, but do not think you're going to do it tomorrow, next week, next month. Start today.
What if you're uncertain about your job?
Certainly, there are a lot of people in this category as well. You need to be sure you have a clear line of communication with your employer. You're talking to them on the regular about what your status is. And also, you may want to begin pulling together a resume in your off time as well, or looking for secondary work that you pick up on the side in the meantime. It's uncertain for all of us. And so if you're unsure, you want to be sure you're taking steps in the right direction.
And if you're still working, I think a lot of us have concerns too, and, nervous about the unknown. What is your advice for those people?
Again, like we talked about in the beginning, pressing pause on, the vacation fund, the Christmas fund, whatever you might be saving toward, piling up as much cash as possible for an emergency fund in case you might lose your job in the future, or, just kind of squirreling things away, taking a deep breath. Financial anxiety is real for all of us, and acknowledging that, yes, this feels panicky right now in the moment. Don't ignore those emotions. Be sure you're staying in contact with someone and resourcing yourself well. Read good books, listen to good podcasts, be encouraged. And this is not the end of things for any of us, but we do need to be smart right now.
Cherie, thank you so much. We'll post all of Cherie's tips and many more on WTHR.com. Just search The Queen of Free.